Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the My Expertise Online live show, where we help you create and sell your own online courses, and of course for profit. Welcome, I'm Michael Brook. How are you doing? I know it's been quite a while since I did a live. I've been doing quite a lot of other things, but it's a long time since I actually did one of these lives. It must be a week or more, maybe even a little bit longer than that. So I wanted to do this live today because I've been talking to people a lot about their own online course and creating and selling their own online course. And people have been saying to me, but what if I don't have a niche? What if I don't consider myself an expert in anything, but I still want to create an online course to promote and transform my business? So what we've been talking about is how to create power niches and how to create a niche for yourself based on things that you like doing, things that you're good at. So I thought I'd talk to you guys about power niches. So let's take a look at some of these niches that this is power niches, and then moving on from power niches, how to position your brand. And I think this is quite an important thing to do if you're not sure what you're an expert in, or you're not very confident in what you're doing. So let's take a look at the type of things that you could create a niche about. Well, the first one is processes. Processes are a really good place to start with because there is a really very good chance that you are good at a process. For example, you might be really good at using LinkedIn, and you might be really expert in using LinkedIn to help people get jobs. Now, there's a lot of people out there actually do use LinkedIn to help people get jobs, and that would be a really neat process to specialize in if you wanted to create an online course for your business. Another process that you might be really good at is you might be really good at list building. And if you're really good at list building, that would be an excellent process that you could use in order to make an online course for your business. You might be really good at how to grow LinkedIn, and you might have some processes that work really well for how to grow your own LinkedIn. And so that might be something that you would want to choose. So there's a lot of things around processes that you could use as a way of creating your own course. I know a lot of people who have courses made out of processes. LinkedIn is one that I know people use a lot to create processes. So if you're a bit of a guru on LinkedIn for a particular purpose, so like for growing your brand, for growing your network, using LinkedIn to recruit, all these types of things, that might be perfect for you. If you're really good at using Infusionsoft for a particular purpose, well, that might be another good one. So there's a ton of different processes that you might want to think about. And related to that, we've got products, because obviously if you're really good at a particular product, like LinkedIn, for example, you might want to teach people the finer points of how to use LinkedIn. You might want to teach people the finer points of how to use Infusionsoft, if that is something you're really good at. Perhaps you're an absolute whiz at Facebook. And of course, going back to processes, if you're a really good ambassador for creating Facebook ads, well, then that might be a product and a process that you could put together. Because often products and processes go hand in hand. So you might be great at using a product for a particular process, like, for example, Facebook ads. That would be a great product and a great process for you to teach people how to do. And there's a lot of people, of course, out there do that. So other processes, other products, that you might want to think about: Infusionsoft, LinkedIn, Facebook, some other software product that you might be really good at. That would be really good. Or perhaps you are particularly good at using a particular kind of camera, for example. So if you're into photography or if you're into video, perhaps you are excellent at using Sony cameras or Canon cameras. Or maybe you're really good at using a particular type of camera for a particular kind of photograph, or a particular kind of camera to make videos, that would be an excellent use of product to help you create your own online course. And of course, there are a lot of people out there using products to create online courses, so that would be a really good one to do. The next one to consider would be people. Have you got a niche specifying people? So for example, there's a lot of people pick ladies or women as a particular niche. There's a lot of people out there have got a niche that are around women. Perhaps it's men, or men of a particular age that your niche would be particularly perfect for. So like, for example, men under 30, or men over 50, or men over 60, or men going into retirement, or women going into retirement. That would be a particularly useful niche. Kids, I know that there are a few NLP products out there, particularly for kids. So that would be a very good niche as well. Perhaps you would like to target people and their jobs. So for example, you might want to target accountants or lawyers, or I don't know, think of a particular job. For example, mine is experts or trainers or consultants. These are the type of people that I niche in my product. So that might be another great way of targeting those people. Just professional people would be a niche, but you could make it more niche by picking professional people who are accountants, or professional people who are lawyers or HR professionals. These would be really good people type niches, I think. The next one that you might want to think about is the pain that people are experiencing. So what pain are people experiencing that you might want to niche? So for example, you might want to pick people who are overweight. Or for example, a good friend of mine, Angela Cox, is an expert in binge eating, and that is a particular pain that she specializes in. So that's a very well defined niche, because it's women. I think she could specify the age, usually over 30 and up to 50 perhaps, who are binge eating. So that would be a particular pain point where she's picking people and pain. It might be that you've got a particular interest in people who are suffering from the pain of not getting great sales, or the pain of not having great marketing. That would be another great niche that you could pick. So pain points are great niches for you to be able to choose. And I would recommend that, because the emotion associated with pain is very strong, and people resonate with that quite easily. Now, the next pain that you might want to think about is your passions. These are often not necessarily business-related passions, but it might be the perfect niche for you. So, for example, I've got a good friend who teaches people guitar, and he's a specialist in how he teaches guitar. Now, the reason why he teaches guitar and the reason why he's made it his business is because he is passionate about it. I know people who are passionate about knitting, and therefore they've chosen knitting as a particular passion. So, there's lots of different passions around hobbies or pastimes that you might want to choose. But there are people who are passionate about sales and marketing, or people who are passionate about sport. These are all great niches as well. You might be passionate about, I don't know, creating video, photography, a particular type of photography, like, for example, landscape photography. If that's your thing, then that would be a great passion for you to choose as your niche. Another very strong category is pets. Now, pets would definitely be a passion, and there's a lot of people passionate about pets, and it's a perfect niche. When it comes to power niches, think of these, the 5 Ps: processes, passions, people, products, and pain. And those are all great power niches, and you should be able to find a niche that is in one or more of those categories. So next, you really need some help perhaps with positioning yourself. Once you've created your niche, you then want to create, then want to position yourself within that niche. So for example, let's start with this one here. What are you the only one doing? Are you the only person who specializes in marketing for accountants, for example? Are you the only person who specializes in weight loss for women over 65? Are you the only person who specializes in creating online courses and helping people sell their online courses? That's mine, for example. Are you the only person who specializes in NLP for kids? Are you the only person who specializes in coaching pensioners? What are you the only one doing? When you can define that, that would be really, really useful. Now, let's take it on a step. What are you the only one in? So that might be the only one in Yorkshire who specializes in teaching NLP for kids. You might be the only one in a particular town that specializes in something. You might be the only one in the UK that specializes in something. You might be the only one in Europe that specializes in one thing. Now, for example, if you're the only one in the world that specializes in something, then you have got a perfect niche and a perfect way of positioning yourself to create an enormous income. So that would be another really good way of thinking about positioning yourself. Are you the only one in? And then the next one would be, what are you the only one in for? So I'm the only one in Yorkshire for people with bad hearing. I'm the only one in Bradford for people with a particular syndrome. Or are you the only one in Leeds for accountants? Or, the further you can chunk down from the only one in, and the only one in for, makes it, the further you can chunk down, the more specific you can make it. And that helps you to create a perfect position for you and your niche. So that's just some tips there about how to create a power niche and how to position your brand. So thanks very much for taking the time to watch this live. Now, what I would like to offer you is the opportunity to book a call with me. Now, if you would like to book a call with me, all you need to do is go here and you go to www.meocall.uk, and I will give you a 30-minute coaching call with me, and you can share with me your ideas for creating your own online course. Perhaps you want to ask questions about your ideas for creating your own online course. Perhaps you're concerned whether your niche is suitable for an online course. Maybe you've started creating your own online course and you've got stuck. Perhaps you want to get started but don't know how to get started. Now, please don't think that I'm going to necessarily sell you something when you come on this call, because I am not. I'm just going to share my ideas with you. So if you'd like to book a quick call with me, 30 minutes or so, go to meocall.uk, meocall.uk, and we'll have a quick chat and find out what's under the bonnet in your ideas about creating your own online course. So thanks very much for taking the time to watch this live, and I will see you very soon.